Alright guys, here's the review of the Corgeut Aqua Terra Homage. So, you can pick this up in a few different options. You can get a few different dial options, and also you can get it on a bracelet as well. The seller I got it from only sells it on the leather strap, but I will leave links in the description to both options. And I'll quickly show you as well what they look like. So as you can see, quite a few options to choose from. So you should be able to find one you like. If you do end up picking one up, please consider using those affiliate links, as it does help support the channel. It helps me do more videos in the future. So as you can see, I went with the white dial version. The reason I picked this one, I thought it was really interesting. There's a lot going on here. Some might not like it, some might prefer the plainer look, but I actually quite like this one. So you can probably see straight away, we've got that gold coloured second hand. And then with the other hands, they're, I'm guessing you call it a metallic blue. They're meant to look blued, but they're clearly not at this kind of price point. But they look good. Also, got quite an interesting dial as well. So you can probably see, got vertical stripes on it. Bit of texture there. Then we've also got the minute track around the outside as well. The red indicators, as well as the blue text for the actual minutes. Looks interesting. A little bit different again, like I say. That carries on as well throughout the rest of the dial. So with the date window, we haven't got a square cutout, we've got a nice, I don't know what shape it is. Somebody will probably know in the description, let us know. But I do like that. Matches the indices. Looks good. And you can probably also tell as well, the indices are all applied on there. And we've actually got Lume in them as well as Lume on all the hands, including the second hand. But I'll show you a Lume shot in a bit. So other than that, we've just got the Corgeut at the top, below the 12, and then, you can't quite see it, I'll just move it out of the way actually. Move those hands. So we've actually, well, while we're here, I'll show you. We've actually got a screw down crown. And then pull it out once. You can change the date, pull it out again. Second hand stops, so we've actually got hacking. And then obviously we can change the time. If I move them out of the way, now we can see we've got self-winding chronometer, 164 feet, 50 meters water resistant. And then push it back in, obviously crown re-engaged. Second hand going again. And then screw that back in. So seeing as we're talking about it already, let's flick it round to the back. So there's a couple of movement options with this as well. I've actually got the Seagull ST1612, but you can actually get the Miyota A215 as well. So options again, which is nice. So again, we've got the 50 meters water resistance claimed on there. The fact that it's got sapphire crystal, stainless steel, and it's an automatic movement. We'll be testing the sapphire crystal in a bit. But as for the rest of the case, got no sign crown unfortunately, but not exactly a deal breaker at this kind of price point. Fairly simply finished case. Got brushed sides, polished on the top. Quite a nice transition between the two. And then we've got that polished bezel as well. Fixed bezel obviously. Forgive the fingerprints. And as for the strap, I do actually quite like this strap. It's kind of almost like a suede with the leather backing. It's really nice and comfortable. Not stiff at all, nice and soft. Really, really nice. And also, we've actually got a really nice clasp on this. It's actually a different kind of style. So if you haven't seen one of these before, I'll quickly show you how it works. So you feed this bit through here, and then if you see that little bit sticking up there, that just feeds through into one of the holes, depending on what size you want obviously. I think I have it on that one. So just slide those in there, and then that comes through there. And then when you're wearing it, that'll actually fold underneath, and then that clips on top like that. So you don't have the excess bit flapping out. So you don't need the retainers for it. because it's actually under your wrist. So it just looks a lot cleaner. Protects the strap as well, so it doesn't get bent up and all deformed. So it should last a bit longer as well, which is nice. I actually had a similar style buckle to that when I tested out the Solar Starlight. If you haven't seen that video, I'll leave a link up here if you want to check that one out. Really nice microbrand watch. It's actually on Kickstarter now as well, I think, if you do want to check that one out. But getting back to this. So, like I say, really nice looking. And I was really pleasantly surprised by this, because it is really nice. And given the price point, I just wasn't expecting that. You don't see that on watches on AliExpress very often. It's a nice touch. So let's go on to the measurements. So we've got a thickness of about 11mm, diameter of 41mm, lug width of 20mm, and a lug to lug of about 47. So quite nice dimensions. So let's quickly undo this so I can lie it down properly, and then we can test out whether we've got sapphire crystal. Using the trusty diamond selector tool. So as you can see, yep, we have got sapphire crystal. Just quickly test the back. And that's just mineral crystal. But you can't expect that at this kind of price point, so that's not disappointing. So let's see what the lume's like on this then. So already it's looking quite good on the hands, but let's charge it up and see what the rest of it's like. Already we can see those hands are really glowing. So it's looking pretty good. And there we go. So unfortunately, as you can see, the indices aren't really glowing too much at all. Don't really know what's going on with them. Perhaps that isn't actually lume. Let's just quickly test that again. Yeah, they look like they are shining a bit, well, glowing a bit, sorry, when you're going over them. But they just don't seem to retain it at all, unfortunately. It's a little bit disappointing. But the main thing is, you've got plenty on the hands. And they do seem to have been lasting quite a while as well. They were glowing quite brightly even before I charged them up with that UV torch. So, you should be alright with them. I've not had this watch all that long, but from the little bit I've had it, using it at night, it seems to be alright. It's fading a little bit, but it stays at this kind of level for a decent amount of time. Not brilliant. Obviously don't be buying it for the lume alone, but it's a nice little bonus to have. Definitely usable. So, not too bad, given the price point. So all that's left to do now is show you on wrist. So this is what it looks like on my 7-inch wrist. I think it does look really, really nice. Again, not a lot of curvature to those lugs, but with it being on this strap, it does help it. Helps it conform quite nicely. I do really like that as well. Adds a little bit of bulk to the bottom, but it does look a bit tidier as well, just having the excess underneath instead of on the top. I do quite like that. And like I say, this strap is really, really comfortable. And again, you've just got the double pushes there to undo it. And it just clips in place. but it is really nice. I've been pleasantly surprised with this one. Wasn't sure if I was going to like it all that much, especially because I went with the slightly less traditional looking dial, I guess. But I do really like it. So that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.